And there we go. Should be going live right now. We had a power outage and then in turn an internet outage just a while ago. The rain absolutely came down around us. Very grateful for all of the rain that we got, obviously. We actually got 20 mils of rain in like less than an hour, which is almost unprecedented, but it's really good. It's only dripping lightly now. Fortunately, the power came back on, and then in turn, the internet came back on. I had a second, a milliseconds worth of worry about not being able to stream every day. I want to get myself like another backup. I'm not exactly sure how. Maybe like a SIM card or something, a modem SIM card, or SIM card modem, just so that I can have internet even when the power drops. Because it's important to me to be there for all of you. Thank you very much, Mr. G2EZ, for the silver, and then in turn for the 44 seconds that you've added to the stream, dude. That's really cool of you, man. I hope you're well. I hope things are going well at home, and I hope you're happy, dude. I hope you are happy. Sends a little smiley face as well. Isn't that nice? Can you hear the rain? Please do tell me if you can hear the rain on stream. I'm really curious. Like, there won't be too many bird noises. I don't think. But there will be rain today, which can be just as tranquil sometimes. I hope the audio comes through clear though. That's what's most important. As long as everybody can hear me, then I'll be happy. You are positivity in person, my dude. Yeah, rain is awesome. We are all capable of being positivity in person. That's the thing. Like, that is something we're all capable of. Yet we tell ourselves differently, and sometimes it's hard to believe. Sometimes it is hard to believe. But for today, all I can really do is just show, right? Just show. I think the best way to teach people is by showing, and it's the way I learn as well. I really appreciate being shown how to do something, and learning something new is such an rewarding experience to me as well. It just feels good. It just feels good knowing new things, especially things that you didn't know before. It's like you're growing. Not like you're growing. You are growing. Every time you learn something new, you're growing. And sometimes we learn bad things. Sometimes we learn bad habits. And sometimes we learn good ones. I'm gonna have to take you with me, I guess. No, will I? I'll be back in a minute, I promise. Just wait a second for me. I need to go get my Garrick. I'm back. As promised. I just need to get this little thing so that I actually have something to roll with. This is a glass Garrick, which means I get to reuse it over and over again, meaning there's less pollution on our beautiful planet. And it also cools down your smoke really well because it's glass. So all wins. It's really good. It's a beautiful day. We desperately needed rain, so I'm really grateful for every single drop that's fallen. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Sorry if you hear the little message tones. I do try and silence my phone these days, but some of them still come through. And I'm gonna listen to all of the rules. I'm thinking a lot today. Thinking about what to say, thinking about what to feel. I think the lesson I have in my head today again is the one that goes, the only way to live a truly happy life is to, oh no, a drop of rain fell on my Garrick. I think it should be fine. The only way to be truly happy is to expect everything to happen exactly as it will. Because only when you expect and you want for things to happen exactly as they will, that you will be happy. Like, don't attach any negatives, don't attach any positives to any situation. Just let them happen exactly as they ought to. And that is the true way to have a happy life. What are you smoking? I am smoking lemon haze, friend. I'm smoking some lemon haze. There we go. And just like that, we have the structure rolled. I usually bring this down a little bit so it frills up, sticks around a little bit better, doesn't want to slip off. Yeah, I do like this little piece, little glass tip. Makes it really convenient. Don't have to roll your own for one. And then on the other hand, it's just nice. Cools down your smoke. Forms a really nice long Garrick as well, so it gives you more than enough room when you get to the end of it, so you don't burn your lips. Just all around good stuff. I'm not advertising it though. I don't know, I feel like for some reason talking about it. Maybe because I forgot it. Trying to remind myself not to forget it again. Get myself this little piece of wire. How are all of you? Seems we have a quiet chat today. Maybe you just want me to stay quiet as well. Just listen to all of the beautiful water falling. There are some birds still chatting about. Wonder what birds think of rain. Think they like it? I don't think so. Think it should be a real nuisance to them. It's not exactly like their little nests are waterproof or anything. Swallows, on the other hand, have figured out they come and nest underneath roofs. Favorite philosopher? There we go. Thank you for the good question, my friend. I think my favorite philosopher is Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. Like, those are the two that have influenced my thinking process the most with the things that they have said. So it's between Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. I think Marcus Aurelius might be the one I like more. I don't know exactly why. Maybe because I've just read more of his stuff. He has so much in writing. So much in writing. If you want to read a really good book, it is philosophy, but it's still a good book. Go read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Plato. Plato is also a G. Could have guessed on your first answer, lol. Yeah, you sure? Like, you asked the question hoping to get a different answer than the one you could have guessed for, but yep. That is the one, dude. That is the one. Oh, seems the rain is slowly coming to a stop. Still dripping lightly, it seems. But the birds are flying again. Oh. I want to tell you something. I recently stopped my diet because I knew I was going to get a friend over, and because I had a friend over, we're going to start eating carbs and stuff, and I just wanted to be able to do that while he was here. And usually I wake up feeling pretty nice, wake up quite energized and ready for the day, and then since I started eating sugar again, this morning I felt absolutely trash. Like, so bad, so lethargic. I felt like my eyes didn't want to open up completely. Like I couldn't focus. I had a coffee, and then I shared a really profound message with a friend. And he might be listening actually, so you know who you are, friend. And thank you so much. I do appreciate everything that you said today. It means more than I can really express to you. So thank you for that. And I think I take a bit of inspiration from this friend, and I'll give some advice and some words on what he did. And basically, he told me that he feels he needs to reach out to friends more, rekindle the relationships he's had, and really, truly, actually feel that connection with his friends again. Like I feel like that's what I feel with him. We've been friends for a long time, but life sometimes gets in the way. You start getting a job, get into relationships, and very quickly things become very muddy when it comes to your time and what you invest your time into. So I think it's important for all of us to just reach out to maintain our relationships. Like if you have a friend that you haven't talked to in like a week or something, send them a message. Tell them that you're thinking about them. Tell them that you care about them. We can all use messages like that right now. Where are you from? I like your accent. I'm from South Africa, friend. And thank you very much for liking my accent. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately, I guess, because you like it, it's the one I'm stuck with. I think your accent will morph a little bit as you go through life, but I think as soon as it's set, it's kind of set, right? I'm new. Where are you at country wise? I am living in South Africa, country wise. I'm getting light drips on me, but it's kind of nice actually, so I'm not complaining. Actually, before I light this, I have to do something that I do now almost customarily before I light one of these. And it's to set an intention before smoking. So the intention that pops up to my head is friendship and keeping friendships alive and appreciating the friendships that we have. So I'm smoking this joint to friendship. I'm smoking it to appreciate my friends, to think about my friends, to feel the feelings that I associate with my friends, and more than all, just to be grateful for the friends that I have. So that's my intent for this joint today. And I would love for you to share that intent for your friends as well. What if you feel like they have changed personally and you don't like it anymore? It is difficult, unfortunately, friend, because we're supposed to change. That's the one thing that's going to be constant in our lives, no matter what. Like we ourselves are going to change, and our friendships and the people that we love are also going to change. And unfortunately, when you don't communicate enough and you let yourself grow apart, that change becomes overwhelming because in the other person, they've been experiencing this change gradually. And because you weren't actively communicating with them, you weren't there with them for their changes, it feels like there's a disconnect between you and your friend. And it's not like that sometimes. Sometimes the disconnect is just because there's a lack of communication between you two. And then I still encourage you to try and rekindle that proper connection, that proper communication between you two. And if they've changed for the worst, and you think they've changed to the point where it now affects their personality, and in turn affects you with their personality, then it's not healthy. And in that case, you should consider looking for better friends. Or, yeah, like it's a difficult question. It's a multifaceted question as well. It's obviously going to apply differently to different people's lives. But I think in general, the statement stands: reach out to your friends. Even if you feel you've grown apart and their personality has changed too much, even then, just reach out to them and tell them that you're thinking about them. You don't have to go and hang out with them. You don't have to like start a whole new relationship or start building a strong relationship again. But doing something selflessly and reaching out to them because you just want to tell them that you're actually thinking about them and that they do still matter to you, even though you've grown estranged or grown apart. It takes a lot. It takes a big man to do something like that, and it takes a big man especially to say that he's done wrong and to say that he's He's regretful of the things that he's done and that he wants to change. Because that's the hardest thing for us humans to actually do. I think it's the latter for me currently, sadly. I'm so sorry, Mr. Jabba the Hutt. I'm really sorry that that's the case. I hope it's not your only friend. And if it is your only friend, go make some new friends. Right now, it's a little bit difficult to make friends, with the whole lockdown and everything. But whatever it is you enjoy doing, find people that enjoy the same stuff. Find people that you can have good conversations with. It's vital to our survival, actually. We're social creatures. We're really social creatures. We need to be able to be social with the ones that we care for. Little pitter patter of the rain on the roof is so beautiful. Rain is so good for our country. Our country has been really dry for the last couple of years. So the rain goes really appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for each individual drop that falls. Rain, sure. But it's fine because I've just started university and I have an amazing group of people with me now. You see, I'm so happy to hear that. Makes me really happy to hear that actually that you have a good friend group in university. I think it's very important for us to make good friend groups, and it's very easy to make bad friends as well, because unfortunately, again coming back to the point of as humans being social creatures, we kind of long and we have a need for acceptance, and sometimes unfortunately we don't want the acceptance of everybody, because some people have standards that you don't want to be accepted for, right? So don't ever degrade yourself. Hello, Poppy Shoe. Are you here to flirt with me again? I'm not opposed. I wish I could flirt back, but I can't exactly make any compliments. But hello, and welcome back to the stream. I'm so happy to see you again. Feels like a little bit of a melancholy day. Melancholy? Is that the word? Melancholy? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Feels rainy, feels like I should be in bed, snuggled under some blankets. It's such a good day. You seem like a van dweller, or like I would see you at Burning Man. Interestingly enough, I really want to go to Burning Man, and I've also considered buying myself like a van and then just like traveling South Africa and sleeping wherever I stop to, because I think it's a beautiful life. Don't you think it's a beautiful life? Just being able to be free, to see different places, to not have any responsibilities. Sounds wonderful. Also sounds unrealistic, unfortunately. So even though I like to entertain the idea, I don't exactly think it would be something that I can do. Not right now, at least. Maybe someday. Maybe not a van. Maybe like one of those RVs or something. I still like to have my human necessities, as they say. Oh, maybe, she says. I'm okay with a maybe. We'll see how things work out. Yeah, here it's snowing and it's quite pretty. I'm still looking forward to the day of seeing snow. Never in my life, not even once, have I seen snow. I still want to build a snowman, but I feel like by the time I'll get a chance to, I'll be so old it'll be ironic. Kind of weird. One day all this is gonna disappear. One day, when you die. Well, one day, like the universe is going to die in a heat death, dude. So then there's gonna be nothing. So yeah, unfortunately, all of this beauty is going to disappear. But it just makes it even more prevalent that we're supposed to enjoy it while we're here, right? To see all of the beauty and the nature and the birds and the people and the mountains and the flowers. There's so much beauty all around us, and we have so much to be grateful for. Just noticing the beauty sometimes. Kind of weird. Yeah, it's true. I totally, I totally to me, want to be a digital nomad. A van sounds good. Shh. You're filling my head with ideas again, Poppy Shoe. Uh, you wanna run away, buy a van, leave behind all of our personalities, our responsibilities, maybe pieces of our personalities as well. Just live on the road, traveling from place to place, seeing beautiful places, chilling next to the beach for days at a time until we decide to go to the mountains, and then living in the mountains and the beautiful mist, and then after we've experienced all of the beautiful mountains, the beautiful scenery, we can go to like a desert area and then go on a dune and sit and watch over all of those plains of sand. And, oh, I really love different experiences and different perspectives. I think it's one of those things that we have so much power over, and yet we still kind of choose to give ourselves bad perspective sometimes. I would love to see the entire world. Ideally, someday, with enough time, I'll be able to see the entire world, experience all of the different perspectives. You know, that's the craziest part. Like, even right now, where you're sitting, you can experience like thousands and thousands of different perspectives without even moving. Well, maybe moving your head. Yeah, moving your head, but like you don't have to stand up or move around any further than where you're sitting right now, and you can have thousands of different perspectives. Life is profound. Life is so profound. And it's something to be cherished. It makes me so sad that our suicide ratings are climbing right now. People are as unhappy as they've ever been. And if this is you right now, and I might be generalizing, but if you're feeling in a dark place, if you're feeling in a depressed space, know that it's going to be okay. Know that there's always light at the end of whatever this is. I don't think I'll call it a tunnel, but in our lives, we go through dips and we go through highs. Life is a sine wave. Constantly does this, ups, downs, ups, downs, up, downs, up, downs. And once we become aware of those up, downs, it becomes the art of flow. And we start to almost fit in with the ups and downs. And we're vibing with it and we're in tune with it. And if you do that constantly, and you can almost train yourself how to do that, to experience your bad feelings when the bad feelings come along, to be aware and to be present for your good feelings when the good feelings come along. It sounds so simple, yet it's such a hard thing to practice. Definitely a lot to see in the world. Don't want to regret exciting things. We all should check off our bucket lists. I agree. Like, imagine. So I have this one song that's called "Old Man" by Agaris, and it's a Cytron song. And like the only real words in the entire track is "I see an old man reflecting on his life, and he sees all of this empty space of things that he never experienced and he never did. The girl he didn't kiss, the vacation he didn't take, the food item he didn't buy for himself. He sees all of these potential things that could have made his life so much more exciting and so much more full, and he sees he's like regretting all of the things he did not do, and it's like a nightmare. I listened to that track, and I've been like repeatedly listening to the same song, which I never really do, but just to make myself so aware of the fact that one day I am going to be an old man. It's hard to imagine because I'm a very young man right now, But one day I'll be an old man and I'll be looking back at this right now. Isn't that surreal? That I'll have to see myself in this state of mind. I'll probably think I'm very naive right now. And that I know nothing. And I'll be right. Because I'm going to learn so much more. And I'm looking forward to every single day of it. And I'm looking forward to being able to look back at these beautiful moments. And to remember. And hopefully we can all remember together. Hey Chris Hemsworth, what's up, dude? Not much. Just came off of the set of the Avengers? No, Guardians of the Galaxy. Chilling now, afterwards smoking a joint because I'm done filming for the day. If Fabio mated with a Viking, then it would make me. Is that a compliment? That's a really nice roll, doobie, bro. Thank you very much, friend. I'm happy that you approve. And what came out mated with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what came out mated with. I have absolutely no idea what you're trying to say, friend. This here has put a lot into perspective for me and helped me realize to just do what you are passionate about. Yes. Absolutely. If any of you want to take anything away from this stream today, is do what you like doing. And stop doing what you don't like doing. Don't stop because things are difficult. Stop because they fucking suck, dude. Don't do things that suck. Not for yourself, not for other people. Like, you should be doing things that you enjoy. And I'm not saying to just go and eat ice cream all day because you enjoy eating ice cream. No. You know what I'm talking about. Like, there's some things. So, like, today actually I read this quote from Marcus Aurelius again. And he says that, why should it be difficult for you to wake up in the morning? Because, and then, like, why should it be difficult for you to wake up in the morning? And then, like, there's this answer. Oh, but I'm still tired. And then it's like, well, there's a time set to be tired, there's a time set to work, and there's a time set for all of these aspects of my lives. And I was like, oh yeah, but it's good for me to sleep. And he says, yeah, it's good for you to eat as well, and it's good for you to breathe as well, and it's good for you to sleep, yes. But if you truly enjoy what it is you're doing, people go without eating for hours. People go without sleeping because they are so entranced in what it is they're doing. They enjoy it so much that they refuse to eat and they refuse to sleep. And that thought is absolutely amazing. Don't you think so? Don't you think it's amazing that we have the capacity to enjoy something so much that we completely neglect our basic human needs? Like that's something. That really is something. And we should pursue what that thing is. Only if you remember. Oops. Yeah, hey there. Hello, Supreme Hoss? Supreme Hoss? Oh, filming what? I wasn't filming anything. I was actually just chilling with my friend before today's stream. I've been taking some rest days. Tomorrow will be the last rest day for a while again. I'll get back into it. I'll, arm wrestle my left brain into submitting so that my right brain can be creative and passionate and expressive. And yeah, that's something we should be aware of, and it's something that's very hard to be aware of. Our right brain is like the one that's capable of all of this energy, right? And our left brain is the one that's structured and that gives instructions. But our right brain doesn't like being given instructions. So your left brain is like, oh yeah, do this, do that, do blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as your right brain figures out like, oh, this is a chore, now I have to do this thing because left brain told me to, then it's like that rebellious teen, that child within yourself that rebels against doing the thing that it's supposed to do, even though it actually enjoys it. It's like you thinking, I should probably do the dishes. My mom would really appreciate it. And then you hear her scream out of her room, go and do the dishes! Suddenly you don't want to do the dishes anymore. Suddenly you don't want to do the dishes anymore. And it's like coaxing our brains into doing the things we actually want to do by itself. And it's a confusing process, but it's something that we can get good at. Hi, I'm in and I like it. Welcome, dude. I like it as well. In pain? Are you in pain, friend? If you are in pain, it's okay to be in pain sometimes, dude. It really is. I think a lot of us spend a lot of our lives, unfortunately, in pain. But I also think it is that way because we neglect ourselves and we hurt ourselves because of our pain. Because the worst thing that you can ever tell yourself is that you are weak because you are experiencing pain. It's quite the opposite. The philosophers believed it as well, that pain and suffering is actually what makes this life bearable and what makes this life as important as it is. Because a man who is not allowed, okay, no man is as unhappy as a man who is not allowed suffering. Because a man who is not allowed suffering will never be allowed to prove himself. So, like think about that if you are in pain sometimes. You're in pain because you are a strong, independent, powerful being that is capable of processing and handling and growing past that pain. Uncomfortability and pain is one of the best ways for the human to grow. I feel that personally about not eating or doing something until what I've done is completed for some reason. Good. I think you're creating a really good incentive as well for yourself and for your brain. You're telling yourself that tasks need to be completed and then everything else can happen. So I think that's a good mindset to have. All the better if you can help people along the way. Yes, that is the point. Help the people along the way as well. What are you drinking? I am drinking water and smoking, as someone very now affectionate to my heart has said, naughty cabbage. Drinking water and smoking naughty cabbage. The best duo. Oh. What about front brain? The front brain is the part of your brain where you like have decision making. So I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about with your question. What type of music do you like? I've liked a lot of different genres and opposing genres as well. So I started listening to like punk rock when I was a kid, and then it went into metal, and then metal went into psytrance, which is like a dance music, a festival type dance music that, and I like personally progressive trance, which means the beat variation keeps changing throughout the whole track, and it just gives you so much to follow along with, and it's so flavorful, and the bass is so like there, and it's always thumpy, and I just really enjoy it. And it also helps me dance, which is even better. Pain and suffering is being human. Yes. And hello to you, Mr. I'm not gonna say your name, dude. A true friend, I'll call you instead. Yes, but 6 months of fissure pain, I wish that I know, man. I would rather have that than not suffer at all. I'm really sorry that you're experiencing pain for multiple months at a time. That's horrible. And I hope you get better. Like, I really hope you get better soon. I don't know what your name is, because I would love to be able to use your name in my head when I wish for you, but I wish you get better. I really do. If you don't experience the lows, you'll never know when you're in the highs. Yes. yes, I agree completely. I love water. I love water too. Hydra homies in the house, for sure. All of you should keep yourself hydrated. We're only as strong as we need to be. Strife allows us to become stronger. Yes, because that strife allows us to experience and almost to be deserving of the things that are to come. It's almost like, in my personal opinion, it's like a constant test. Like you have to prove yourself to show that, yes, I can handle losing something or losing someone. And then it's like, okay, let's give you a lot of stuff. And then it takes something away again. And then it sees how you handle that again. And it's this constant ebb and flow. Get tested. If you pass the test, good things come. If you don't pass the test, I wouldn't say bad things come, but you're less prone to have more tests. And more tests mean that more growth is going to occur. Yeah, I get that, but I don't really like it. You get what? Water? Or the pain thing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. Please elaborate. Do you believe people need order and structure in their life to eliminate unnecessary stress? I think it helps, but not so much order and structure, but positive patterns. Because the human being is a pattern recognition machine. Like we like seeing faces in clouds, or objects in clouds, or faces in trees, and it's something that our brain likes to do because it likes looking at an image and then trying to form a coherent understanding or image out of what it is it's seeing. And the reason our bodies do that and our brains do that is because vision is very expensive. And as a surviving creature in a dangerous environment, we have to be able to assess our threats and then make a decision based on that, right? So, yeah, by forming new, better patterns in our minds and then in our outside lives, we're going to obviously eliminate unnecessary stress, because instead of exposing yourself to these stressors in your life that you're used to getting stressed by, you can just kind of reestablish new patterns in your day-to-day life and reduce the amount of stress that is you're experiencing. Da, da, da. How high do you think Bitcoin will go this year? I'm scared to say, dude. Um, maybe 60K even. Maybe 60K even. Trust fund baby? No, unfortunately not. How old are you? I am 22 years old. Love watching your show every day. And I love you for watching my show every day. Thank you so much for saying that. The pain is gone. I'm happy, dude. I'm really happy that the pain is gone. That's a nice joint you got there, buddy. Thank you for saying that. Now I have to light it because you've mentioned it. Seems to be a little bit stuck. There we go. What you smoking, buddy? I'm smoking some lemon haze, friend. I'm smoking some lemon haze. I'm making a frozen pizza. If I could give you a slice right now, I would. And I would accept the slice right now if I could. So thank you for offering. That 35 milligrams of butter is starting to do its magic. I hope you feel well, dude. I hope you feel super, super good. I just noticed he's wearing a mushroom necklace. Yes, I am wearing a mushroom necklace. And this mushroom necklace contains my lighter. So it's a multifunctional mushroom necklace. I just noticed he's wearing. I like the positive patterns versus structure and order. Exactly. So the reason I say positive patterns instead of structure and order is because structure and order in our minds sounds way too rigid. It's like, oh no, I don't want to be put in a box. That's your right brain speaking. Oh, I don't want to be put in a box. I want to escape. I want to be free, be creative. So as soon as you say the word, I need structure, I need order in my life, your brain automatically wants to kick against that. But if you say, I want to start implementing positive patterns into my life, huh? Already sounds good, doesn't it? Sounds better. Indica or sativa? It is a sativa. Mushroom or acorn? It is a mushroom. You look like you are in a peaceful place. Jelly of the nature area at the moment. I am in a very peaceful place. I'll give you some more nature views just because you asked. And thank you very much for commenting, friend. Peter Quill, is that you? I have no idea who Peter Quill is. Peter Quill? Peter Quill. Is it an actor? Probably. Most of the people that people know are actors, but I have no idea who that is. Wait, is that a lighter in the mushroom, or is it the mushroom the light? Is the mushroom the lighter? There is a lighter inside of the mushroom. This is like a crocheted little mushroom, and then you can put a lighter inside of it. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I do not. I won't say I'm in the market because I'm waiting for my dream wife. I believe that she's out there somewhere, and I also believe that it's no longer necessary, or not like it was never necessary, but I'm no longer going to go chasing and going to go looking for that dream wife of mine. I just believe that she's going to come into my life when the time is right, and she's going to be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Emin Hayes is sativa dominant. Yes, yes, it is. That's a long one. Nobody does like that. That's a long one. Nobody does like that. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Love for bananas. Thank you for giving me a helpful award, and in turn, actually giving me more time, which is what's really cool. Thank you so much. Any recent projects on Blender? Not just yet. I'm taking up the. So the next thing I'm taking up is I think it's going to be an anvil. So I have to create a material. I have to create a mesh and shape that mesh into the shape of an anvil. And then the real tricky part about that is not so much the shaping it into an anvil, but so much texturing. It's something I find really intimidating. You have these nodes that you have to attach, and then these nodes have these out points and these end points, and then you can adjust the values within nodes, and then those nodes changes like the whole image. And it's amazing, and it's absolutely fascinating, but I don't quite understand it yet. And I'm on my way. I'm like learning bit for bit. I can't expect to understand everything as soon as I take it up. But I'm going to keep learning until I do. And I'm looking forward to that day. Thank you for the tree hug, Afans. I appreciate it. Do you like hugs? I love hugs. Hugs is my go-to. It's such a good way to greet someone. And you know, how you hug someone has a lot of significance and the power that it gives, because someone can give you a hug and be taking from you, or you could be giving someone a hug and be giving them something. Like I wonder if you know what it is I'm talking about. Some of you may, but in everything we do, there's an energy exchange. So you should be aware of what it is you're doing. Are you taking energy from people, or are you giving them energy? What you doing after this? I'll probably be watching some anime with my friend. Me and him has started watching this really brutal anime called Baki. It's about this 17-year-old kid who lives in Tokyo, and then synchronicity happens, and 5 inmates on death row break out of like death row basically. Some of them already get killed and they break out of death row. And then they just like head to Tokyo to go and, in their words, experience defeat. Something like that. I think it's experience defeat. And they're going towards Tokyo, and then they're fighting Baki. I haven't seen any of these fights yet because we've only watched 2 episodes, but it's really cool so far. What you doing after this? Lol. He exhaled into the tree. Hug. I exhaled into the tree. That was so trippy. Everything is trippy, dude. We live in a very trippy world, actually. Trees are fractals, you know. Like that whole... That's a fractal. And it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere, and it's amazing. What up, Thor? What up to you, Night Fury? Thank you, Bird Lush, for the silver award and for the extra time you've given me. Oh, you're a fellow blenderer. I'm not gonna say those 3 letters, but yes, fellow blenderers, I guess. Isn't it an amazing piece of software? It's quite, it's just massive. Like with the capabilities of it and the amount of knobs you have to turn. It's really cool. I'm really excited to get into it. I'm just looking forward to being secure, because when you start with something new, you're never really secure in it. You always have that little bit of self-doubt with your capabilities, like the imposter syndrome that some of you probably would have experienced. And unfortunately, I'm at that point right now where I'm like, I don't know shit. And it's true, because I don't. But it's a very, like, it's a humbling experience, and it makes you very sober to how human you are. And it's really good. It's really, really good. South Africa. Yes, I'm in South Africa. oxytocin is real. Like, this might be a little bit weird, but I want to show you something. Sorry for the nip slip, but that is an oxytocin molecule. So yeah, oxytocin is very real. Understand 3D editing and modeling, but it's too intense and intricate for me. It is very intense and very intricate. It's very intricate, but it's very fun as well because of its intricacy. Being able to adjust things to the absolute, like, nanometers, it's so satisfying. It gives you an amazing sense of power. Shout out from Cape Town. Shout out to you from Mpumalanga, my friend. All the way on the other side of the country. I just put a shirt on my VR chat avatar earlier this morning. Is it a good shirt that you put on your VR character or avatar? Did you make your avatar yourself, or are you using like a base one? I really adore South African accents. My mom's close friend is from South Africa. I love listening to her talk. Thank you very much for saying that. I'm happy that it's a soothing accent to you. It is the one I've been given, and I'm very fortunate. I'm very happy about it. I have nothing to complain about. I just love accents. I'm a sucker for accents. It's amazing how, depending on what side of the world you're from, even though we speak the same language and we understand each other, we have these different ways of saying things, even though we're saying the same things. And interestingly enough, dolphins also have different accents based on where they are. If you like fractals and you like to dabble in things graphical, then try Fractant. It's free. I've actually tried it, dude. It's really cool. You can make hundreds of different preset fractals. You can make your own fractals. You can learn how the other fractals work and change. I've gone through all of that, dude. It's a lot of fun, bro. It's so much fun. Emotional Intelligence 2.1 speaks about imposter syndrome. Is it a book? Emotional Intelligence 2.0, I think, probably. Yeah, that's a scary place to be, but I tell myself to keep at it and learn. Yeah, that's the only thing we can do, fortunately. Like, we just have to keep going and keep learning ever so much as we can. Is South Africa really as scary as the news says? It can be. It can be. But South Africa is a beautiful country, a wonderful country, a prosperous country, an abundant country, a healthy country, a caring country, a loving country, a country that is safe, a country where you can grow, and a country that is evolving. Is South Africa really... That's so cool, no way, your tattoo is insane. It's an oxytocin molecule. I'm pretty okay when it comes to chemistry. I understand chemistry, and I especially understand my own brain chemistry. But oxytocin still, like, slaps me around sometimes. My tattoo says, you either win or you learn. Very good one to have as well, because it's so true. If you have that mentality, you can never really lose, can you? Dude speaks better English than me, and I'm from Canada. I live in Maine. I was using a base that a pink furry cat, lol. That's hilarious, dude. My English isn't that great, but I'm happy that you're saying that. It makes me feel okay. My tattoo says I was 16 and had poor judgment. My mom, thank you for the helpful award, mister. I appreciate it so much. My mom's friend from SA is literally one of the kindest people. I think it's common in all of us. So that is the message I want to leave for you actually today. Be kind to people for no reason. And I think this is something that I'm probably going to say 50 times more here this year, because it's so true. We can always just be kind to people for absolutely no reason. And when we do that, we give to ourselves and we give to the world freely without expecting anything in return. And that is truly the way that we're supposed to be living. Go in love, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.